Monday and Wednesday for Inspired Christians Magazine. Another edition of Inspired Christians Magazine. I'm your host, Benita the Boss Lady, and here recently we were able to travel to Greenwood, South Carolina to the Dr. Benjamin E. Mays site. So stay tuned to Inspired Christians Magazine on TV.
Inspired Christians Magazines on TV is sponsored by
24-Hour Tent, the tent specialist. Call for your free estimate today. 864-376-7078.
Of Inspired Christians Magazine with Benita the Boss Lady, and I am so excited because I am here in Greenwood, South Carolina at the Dr. Benjamin E. Mays site, and I have here with me the director, Mr. Chris Thomas. Hello.
Hello, how are you, Boss Lady?
I'm doing wonderful. I am so excited about the things that are going on right here in Greenwood.
So the site itself was a 20-year campaign of local concerned citizens who wanted to see the legacy of Dr. Benjamin E. Mays preserved in his home. He was born here August 1st, 1894 in the Greenwood community.
Okay.
And so the home that's here was originally probably about 14 miles from here.
I see you all brought it here to this site.
We brought it here in 2004. It sat probably for 4 years before we got this building built and it became a museum. But now it's a wonderful site for people that want to come and learn about the legacy of Dr. Mays. There's over 1,000 color pictures here. We have a large number of his recordings. We have his doctoral robe on site.
Okay.
And so it's just a great opportunity to come and really learn about the legacy of the man that many believe was the impetus that drove the civil rights movement, by both the influence he had and by the conversations, the high-level conversations about race that were going on during his tenure on the Morehouse campus, largely his leadership.
Now, he was president of Morehouse.
President of Morehouse College for 26 years, from 1940 to for 27 years, from 1940 to 1967.
Okay, and I noticed that a lot of the things that you all have here on site, along with the house, I see a couple quilts and things that are hanging around on the premises.
Some of the things in the house there were a few things over there were actually Dr. Mays' possessions. The possessions we have were donated to us by Sally Warner, who was the wife of Dr. Clint Warner, who was a student of Dr. Mays', and Dr. Mays' secretary during the latter part of his life and career. And so there are some pictures over there. But a lot of the things that are over there are actually period pieces that were donated by citizens throughout the Greenwood area primarily. Most of them were reflective. We even have a dress over there that actually predates.
A dress?
Yeah, a dress that's probably right around the time of the Civil War, maybe possibly pre-Civil War. But so most of the items over there would have been items that would have been in the earth during the time of Dr. Mays' birth.
Okay. Well, Dr. Mays is well noted for having a great influence over Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah.
And you all have settings and different little tapes and recordings of Dr. Mays.
We do. So we have more than a dozen speeches on record. We actually have his eulogy of Dr. Martin Luther King. So we actually have the whole funeral for someone that wants to come and spend an hour and a half and sit down and watch it. We certainly put it on for them. But we have the funeral along with the eulogy of Dr. King. Was a tremendous oration that Dr. Mays gave that day. We also have many other speeches that he gave, and it just gives you an opportunity for people that want to come and understand what was it about Benjamin Elijah Mays that made him to have such an impact upon the students at Morehouse and upon the nation at large.
Okay. Now, there are little cotton fields
Yeah. So
that's been planted out here on the premises. And when I drove up and I first saw it, I was like, wow. I mean, for anybody that has never known what the little buds are or haven't touched,
sure.
they can come here.
They can. This time of year, cotton's preserved itself longer than usual because of the warm weather, but normally by this time of year, the cotton's kind of not manageable. But if you come, summer, spring, spring it's just a little fuzzball, but by the latter part of the summer, it's a full-blown cotton field, and so the young people that come that time of year certainly enjoy the experience. And what we've tried to do here is, in addition to the house and the Burn Spring School, which is identical to the brick house school that Dr. Mays would have attended down in the Epworth community, and then where we're sitting now in the museum, we have tried to make this a living history. So every year we plant a garden and we plant the cotton fields, and we want it to be very, very consistent with what Dr. Mays' life would have been like, or the world that he would have been born into. And we also have a statue project going on right now, so that
I was getting ready to ask you that when it comes down to that, can you tell our Inspired Christian viewers and readers how they can help contribute to that statue being erected?
They can make a donation. Come to the site and make a donation. They can call me. I can give you my phone number.
You can?
864-337-0065. They can call me and they can come and make a donation. And so, we're getting very close to actually hiring an artist to create the image that's going to be out there. We've had a lot of dialogues about what we want that image to look like and represent. And so it's going to be an 8-foot statue sitting on about a 4-foot pedestal. And so we think it's going to contribute greatly, and it will sort of permanently put Dr. Mays in the place of his birth. Sort of, we want him to be in the image, a seasoned man, probably in his 50s, really sort of looking back on, the early years of, Dr. Mays' life and his desire to fight against all of the brutality of segregation, the oppression that went on largely in the southern United States. All of his sort of worldview about race and racial issues were formed in those early years in the Epworth community. That was a community that had more than its share of racial strife. Early on in his birth, early on in his life, when he was 4 years of age, the Phoenix riots took place.
And that was right here in Greenwood.
Right here in Greenwood County, which is down the Epworth community, or the Phoenix community, which is kind of next door to Epworth. And it was an incident where there was some local citizens that wanted African Americans to exercise the right to vote, and there were some white citizens, Democratic citizens, who did not want that to happen. A fight broke out in a polling place. A white citizen was shot in the forehead and killed. And over the next several days, the next 4 days, there were mobs. Some historians say 400, some say between 800 and 1,000 people that converged on this area from places all over. Areas
I read on that story and was very shocked to know that happened right here in this area. So, but at the same time, it shouldn't have been. Things happening all across the world.
But that experience influenced Dr. Mays, because on the second day of the Phoenix riots, men rode up on horseback at gunpoint, made his father get down on his knees and salute them, essentially to give them the assurance that he wasn't going to give them any trouble. And so it left a lasting impression on him. And even years later, when he wrote his autobiography that was published in 1971, he talked about it, how tremendous an influence it had on him, even though he was only 4 years of age.
Wow. Well, we're going to take a break right now. You're looking at Inspired Christians Magazine right here on TV, and we're at the Benjamin E. Mays site right here in Greenwood, South Carolina.
Inspired Christians Magazines on TV is sponsored by
Hey, this is Trey with ICMonTV. We highlight student athletes. If you or someone you know needs to get highlighted, hook us up with the information at the bottom of the screen.
Royal Dream Vacations. Make all your vacation dreams a reality. Call Yvette at 864-934-3897.
right here. We are in Greenwood, South Carolina, at the Dr. Benjamin E. Mays site, and I have here the director, Reverend Chris Thomas. And you know, I have to ask you, since being appointed the director, how has that affected you when it comes down to just the insight? Because I know I call you a bookworm, historian, you name it. I know that you pull this knowledge all the time, but how has this affected you?
Well, I think, for me, being here every day and touching Dr. Mays' life on a regular basis, I try to daily listen to a tape or a speech or something that I haven't listened to before. And it really gives me a sense of why Dr. Mays has such a great impact upon Morehouse. The first time he taught there, Morehouse the second time he taught there, the students that he had at Howard University when he was the Dean of Religion there. He was a tremendous man. And it also gave me an understanding of the area that we live in, that it has always had a group of people that were influential and rich in their ideas. And he wrote his second autobiography, a smaller one called More Than People Have Driven Me On. And he talks about how it was the aspirations of the people of his local community, which was the Epworth community, that were the impetus that drove him on to do all that he did and become all that he became. Pastor Marshall, who was his pastor as a young man, was a man that had tremendous influence on this area, pastored a dozen churches at one time, started many churches, and he had a great influence. It was one of the reasons why Dr. Mays' father allowed him to first go to McCormick and then on to South Carolina State High School, because Pastor Marshall believed that he had that ability in him, and he pushed in that direction.
I was going to ask you about that because I knew that he went to Orangeburg to South Carolina State.
He did.
And some people still don't even know that, but we have what I consider a jewel right here in Greenwood, South Carolina, the Dr. Benjamin E. Mays site. And for those of you who are out there and have never visited or have never just really read up on Dr. Benjamin E. Mays, you need to take time out and do so. Reverend Thomas, tell our viewers how they can reach you or either make that appointment just to be able to get a tour here at the Benjamin E. Mays site.
They can call at 864-337-0065. They can write us at 229 North Hospital Street in Greenwood, South Carolina, 29646. And they can visit us on the web at mayshouse.org, www.mayshouse.org. And we encourage people to come by. Bring your young people by. There's Dr. Mays' life can enrich the lives of young people. I have tours that come through all the time. We had the Atlanta Academy that was here a couple weeks ago, and those young people were just extremely excited about what they learned and what they came to know about Dr. Mays' life. He was a wellspring of little sayings that you can really take upon you to think about every day.
Yes. We all agree that knowledge is power.
Yeah.
And for you to be able to learn just some of the influential sayings and little quirks that he put out there for everybody. And I truly know that for myself, having come here and just toured the site, it has had a major impact on myself and my daughter, because I brought her. So I agree. When you say bring your children, come in and just get a view of history right here in Greenwood.
And I want to say the last thing that, Dr. Mays is probably the most influential South Carolinian in terms of the national spectrum of American history to come from this state, black or white. Yet he is almost unknown, even to citizens right here in Greenwood County. And the only way that we can sort of push him forward and preserve his legacy is for more of us to know who he was and what his life was about. So again, I encourage people to come out and be a part of, both preserving and of pushing forward the legacy of Dr. Mays.
All right, well, I celebrate and I'm excited about the things that I know there are to come. Thank you for viewing and reading Inspired Christians Magazine with Benita the Boss Lady and Pastor Thomas.
Yes.
I really thank you for allowing me and giving me just a little bit of your time to talk about Dr. Benjamin E. Mays. You all can look at the information at the bottom of the screen on how to reach Reverend Chris Thomas here at the Dr. Benjamin E. Mays site here in Greenwood, South Carolina. And thank you again for viewing and reading Inspired Christians Magazine.
Just wanna praise you.
24-hour tent, the tent specialist. Call for your free estimate today. 864-376-7078.
You are watching Inspired Christian Magazine on TV.
Just wanna praise you.
Hi, I'm Sharon Owens Hunter, pastor of Abounding Faith, known as the Faith Center in Piedmont, South Carolina. Our services are Sunday morning at 11:30 and on Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock. Listen, the Lord placed something in my spirit. One of the things that we've been doing in life is we've been on the pursuit of happiness. Everybody has a purpose. Everybody has a reason for being. But on the pursuit of happiness, many times we forget that happiness is a temporal emotion. In forgetting that, we find ourselves going through life, wandering aimlessly, trying to find something that's going to fill voids in our lives. Well, the thing that I've learned is that with every purpose, there is an assignment. Many of us have not yet found our purpose, and therefore we're off course. We're not on the assignment that God would have us on. I was thinking about Nehemiah in the 8th and 9th chapters, and how Nehemiah, he was determined that he was going to rebuild the walls of Jerusalem. In doing that, he took 52 days to stay on assignment. He rebuilt all the walls, and he had not placed the gates in place. When the enemy came in, the enemy decided they wanted to call him off course because they wanted to destroy him. In that, Nehemiah said these words, "I will not come down." Many of us are in a place right now that we're on an assignment from God, not realizing that the assignment is something that we cannot avoid, or something that we cannot abort in this season. I need you to be like Nehemiah and tell the enemy, "I will not come down. I'll stay the course, I'll stay the task, and I'm going to finish the assignment, and ultimately I'm going to fulfill the purpose that God has for me in my life." Thank you. I hope you have a blessed day.
Just wanna praise you.
Hi, welcome back to the Inspired Christians Magazine. I am your host, Benitra the Boss Lady. And yes, I'm excited because this upcoming artist that we're getting ready to showcase her, she's a great friend of mine, Chantal Moore. She has a very, very beautiful song out called Favorite. Check her out.
Can't you see in the air?
What are you doing? No, bring the back. No.
It's all
No, don't you take nothing. What are you doing? No, don't take this.
no more room
Where you
for
going?
despair. See through the marley clay. Oh, God found you. At times it seems like there's no way out, but thanking you, Jesus, for your endless light. Oh, I'm favored. Take a good look at my life. See, God is able to turn death into life. I thought it was over, but look at me now. I finally realize, I finally realize, oh yes, I'm favored. Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord. So many heartaches over and over again. I told myself, look at you, this has to be the end. So many disappointments, it's all I see. But when I look in the mirror, I see God looking at me. Oh, I'm favored. Take a good look at my life. See, God is able to turn death into life. I thought it was over, Lord, but look at me
Royal Dream Vacations. Make all your vacation dreams a reality. Call Yvette at 864-934-3897.
Thank you for watching Inspired Christians Magazine on TV. Next week, tune in. We're going to be highlighting Choir Boy Cam. Yes, I'm very excited about getting to talk to that young man and see just where he is and how God is using him at this point in time in his career.
Thank you.